Well, today is the day I had a chance to fly my drone in Lethbridge and got to fly with my uncle on a day I was visiting there on the way home, and it wasn't very windy. So, let's go explore with the drone and see this train trestle or viaduct or whatever it's called. Apparently, it's the longest and the highest of its type in the entire world. At least that's what they claim. 96 meters, 315 feet above the water. That's getting up there anyway. But I had flown my drone around a little bit earlier in the day, and I had lost contact, and I was flying out here looking at this and thought, man, this is the coolest view. I wanted to see the whole drone, the whole train trestle and everything. But I've been down below watching a train go past, and maybe another day I'll have the chance to be there and watch a train go over and fly the drone around it while that happens. But when I was flying this time, I thought I was going to try to fly it underneath. And then I thought, no, I'm not going to do that because I'm way off behind on a level ground. And if it gets out of sight and loses contact, the drone automatically wants to fly straight up and fly home. And it would be just my dumb luck that I would get trapped under the train trestle and lose it. So I didn't do that. I just flew it around over top instead. It's a pretty cool looking thing to see anyway. It's just over a mile long, I think, just somewhere around there in feet. Pretty country, pretty colored water, lots of steel. It says in there how many thousand tons it was. I don't remember, 11,200 tons, metric tons, or 12,400 short tons of steel. That's pretty cool. And lots of iron holding that train up when it goes by. But it really is kind of pretty country in its own way. There's more rattlesnakes there than there is where I live, that's for sure. But I thought it's fun to see things like this. And I leveled out, and off in the distance there's coal mine stuff, and then this is the west side of Lethbridge. So just a little view of there, and then off in the distance right there is the university. So this is the west side. Off in the distance right around now, we can see above past the river, there's the Lethbridge University is built into the side of the hill. Then loop around to see the other part of Lethbridge, and then back over the train trestle. And then get centered over top of it, and then I'll fly backwards and see how it looks. I thought it was interesting, the shadow and everything else as well. Then whip around and go back to where I was parked, which is basically straight through that coal mine area. And that I had to do a little research on. I thought I'm going to explore that. I'm parked on the far side. It's private property with lots of signs, do not trespass, and I understand why, because as a young man, I would want to go explore there. This apparently is the site of the Galt No. 8 site in Lethbridge. It was a premier example of preserved historic coal and mining infrastructure in Canada. So this mine was opened in 1935. Closed in 1957. It was the last major mine operating within the city limits and stands as a key landmark in the Oldman River Valley. It's pretty cool. It was the economic engine for southern Alberta, producing over 3 million tons of coal during its 22-year lifespan. Still has the remains of the steel structured tipple, which is that thing there in the background, and the water tower. So it's kind of neat to see, because I've seen it from a distance many, many times, but I've never ever been close. And I thought, well, this is cool to be able to view it from the air, where you're not trespassing, but you actually get to see the site and the place around it. Lots of old iron there to look at. So when it was closed in 1957, so it's been a long time that it's just been waiting there to be looked at and admired from the distance, I guess. And down right on the left-hand side of the screen by that red building, there's a tree with a big dark shadow machine. I should have made a video of that thing itself. It was probably a, 20-ton, some old press or something like that. But maybe I'll have a chance to return and make a video. But in the meantime, go back to where I came from and get ready to land. So I was driving the van, get my drone in position to see where I am and try not to run into the overhead power line, and my Uncle Lloyd and I can wave at the camera, and the day is done. Thanks for watching.